I'm Summer Huntington of Steel Mace Vinyasa and Shala, and today I'm talking about training balance with Steel Mace Vinyasa. You'll see I have my teacher training manual here. This is about a 150-page manual. This is the manual that we give out at our level 1 seminars, our two-day seminars, which are basically weekend seminars, as well as our 50-hour and our 100-hour Steel Mace Vinyasa teacher. So I have organized this manual very, very carefully into 3 easy-to-find sections. We've got prime, which is the mobility. Priming is basically mobilizing the joints and moving through asana with repetition. So think your cat-cow from quadruped, your kneeling lunge with chest expansion, your standing shoulder screws from mountain pose. There's about 25 or so priming drills that are very unique to the Steel Mace Vinyasa system that allow us to pulp dense fascia. Let's start with one that will help us with balance. So generally the priming drills that I choose when I'm working balance are things that allow me to move my spine through space and actually simulate balance on my 2 feet. So we'll start in mountain pose, level 1, for standing spinal circles from mountain pose. Level 1, the fists are here, shoulders are packed. Take a lateral bend, hinge forward, fold forward, lateral bend on the opposite side, maybe arching the spine back on the way back. Lateral bend, forward fold, lateral bend the opposite side. You could do that in both directions. So priming is super important before we go into the other aspects of the manual, which are our condition and our flow section. So let's stay here and just be really specific and intentional with the prime drills that we choose so that we can be more successful when we move to the actual loaded conditioning for balance. Level 2, for standing spinal circles from mountain, you have the option to scoot your feet together, providing a smaller base of support, or you can keep your feet hip distance. So you'll capture your elbows, lifting, try not to sway your back. A lot of yogis really overemphasize this position, which actually causes a lot of damage to the spine and can really do some damage on the discs in there, in the lower spine and lumbar spine. So with neutral spine, take a lateral bend, stretch the lats, forward fold, lateral bend to the opposite side, inhale to come up, exhale, big lateral bend. This stretches your lats. Here I'm folding forward, finding spinal flexion. I am working my proprioceptive awareness to keep myself balanced, and then I can switch directions. So notice I've just lengthened my lever just a little bit here, moving from my fists in front of my body to now just capturing my elbows. I like this kind of midway point of capturing the elbows for my folks that have really tight shoulders, where the level 3 variation doing this might be a little bit inaccessible. But if you are a yogi and you want to do the classical asana style, it might look like this. Inhale. Exhale, laterally bend, fold forward, laterally bend. This one also is called half moon in yoga. Reach up, maybe arc the spine, laterally bend, fold, keep dynamic tension running throughout, keep the biceps at the ears. Generally, you want to go equal in each direction. I'm performing 2 reps in each direction. Ideally, I would pick my level 1, my level 2, or my level 3, and I would just do like 5 solid reps in a row. All right, so that's one really valuable priming drill that will help you get that vestibular sense of balance, working the ankles, moving the spine in all directions, and just really working the core. Another one that's really great for balance is standing hip circles. So I can take my hands into a prayer position here. Level 1, I tap my foot on the ground, external rotation. Level 2, or tap internal, external. So level 1, I'm just keeping the foot on the ground so that I don't wobble and lose my balance. Next progression from the side looks like this. Start with the foot flexed, leg at 90 degrees. I'm rooting down through my base leg. I'm not bending here, but I'm really engaging with my back glute. I pedal back into hip extension, externally rotate, lift the leg, come up and over, pause here. This is forward hip circles, and this is the next progression from the toe tap variation that I did previously. You can switch directions. So here I'm working my standing base leg, just getting used to balancing on one leg so that by the time I pick up my mace, I've already mapped that in my nervous system. I can switch sides. I'll show it from the front. Flex the foot, kick back, rotate out and open, pull back through. From the side, it looks like this. The benefit here is anytime I take my foot off the floor, my core has no choice but to fire. So core is firing twice as much here as it was here. So core nice and active, hip extension, priming the glute, External rotation, lift, open, land, back glute firing. Forward hip circles, whew. Backward hip circles, going to your fullest range of motion, trying to keep the hips relatively level. So those are 2 priming drills that would really fit well if I was doing a balance-based workout. So in a balance-based workout, I'll show you 3 of the most common Steel Mace Vinyasa conditioning exercises, and in a future video, I'll show you the actual loaded asana. So let's start with the easiest. We've got our 4-corner balance drill, level 1. Start with the mace in a 2-handed prayer position. Inhale to lengthen, come to the tiptoe of your opposite foot. On your exhale, find a hip hinge, press the mace out into 2-handed flag, tap the toe on the floor, stand up, squeeze the glutes at the top, or the left glute. Exhale, foot comes to the side, tapping the toe on the ground. Inhale to come up. Exhale, foot goes back behind. Inhale to come up. Exhale, foot goes behind. Whew. Sometimes I like to go like all the way down, like this, and come back up. You can switch sides, switch hand grips. From the front, it looks like this. Inhale. Exhale, press mace out to 2-handed flag. Notice I'm locking out my elbows, not rounding at the back. Exhale, foot comes to the side. Inhale to lengthen, get your postural muscles involved. Your deep spine stabilizers. I'm not just doing this. This is not just a leg exercise. This is a spine exercise. The spine is responsible for balance. So in this position here, I recruit and lengthen up, like I get like 1 inch taller here, so that I can really tap into my pelvic floor, my transverse abdominis, my multifidus, which is are the muscles that kind of shoelace up the spine. I'm getting everything really active, my paraspinals, which are my lumbar, my low back muscles. I want to get all of those spine stabilizers active in all of my balance exercises. So my next exercise, specifically from Steel Mace Vinyasa, next one is standing cat-cow. So you can start with your mace in a 2-handed guard position, left hand on bottom, right hand on top. Notice I have a 90-degree angle here. I'm not hanging out back here, but I'm marrying my elbow to my rib. Come to the tiptoe of the same side leg, and there's always levels. The beautiful thing about Steel Mace Vinyasa is everything has a level 1, a level 2, level 3, sometimes level 4, and sometimes there's regressions below a level 1. So level 1, inhale, cast the mace into back position. Notice I'm hyperextending my lumbar spine a little bit here. Exhale, neutral spine. Inhale, extending the spine. I'm not hyperextending, but I'm just extending it. Exhale, neutral spine. Level 1 is to keep the toe on the ground, and you're just literally doing like cat-cow with your hips, tilting back, tucking to neutral. We're not over tucking here, we're just tucking to neutral. Next progression, I can start to lift my foot up. Inhale, back position. Exhale, pull the knee up towards the mace. It might be towards the leg will be on the outside of the mace. Inhale, back position. Here I get to extend my spine under load. It feels really good. Exhale. Inhale, arc the spine, exhale. I switch sides, I switch hand grips. Come to tiptoe, level 1. Inhale, keep the toe on the ground, exhale. Just working the pelvis and really working my lumbar extensors, so my low back muscles, my paraspinals, opening my shoulders, getting a nice load back here in a stretch, in an arched position. When and if you're ready, reach the toe back, exhale, knee up. Lift, get your paraspinals and spine stabilizers active, inhale, and exhale. So this one just has like a level 1 and a level 2. If you're finding yourself wobbling a little bit, you could do back position, tap toe on the ground. Back position, tap toe on the ground. So there's always ways that you can kind of modify things. And exercise number 3, the Warrior 3 Romanian deadlift, looks like this. So you'll start with an over grip. Mace globe in the back on the right-hand side. So pull the mace back behind you. You'll feel your back right tricep turn on. Take your left leg back in a staggered stance and keep the load on this base leg, the leg that's touching the floor. From here, micro bend your knee. Hinge forward, a nice flat back. Again, avoiding this rounded position, but instead keeping a nice lumbar curve. You can come up to crossbody bottom. Hinge forward, nice flat back. Ripping, crushing, squeeze the glute at the top. Level 1 is just keeping the foot on the ground. I think of it kind of like a kickstand, especially if you're wobbly and you don't have the best of balance. We can train balance by keeping that kickstand on the ground, and over time we're just getting a little bit closer to like coming to the toenail, right? So we're here, hinging, cross body, bottom. Next progression hinge, body and leg in one line, big tricep extension, and then you can just tap the foot on the ground here. Kick back, flex the foot deeply, engage the back glute, straighten out your back leg, hover, pull the mace to cross body bottom, and just touch the toe on the ground for level 2. Third progression, when you're ready to move a little deeper into level 3 conditioning, you can hinge, come to cross body bottom, you can lift the leg, maybe bring your mace into an uppercut position. Time it perfectly, hinge forward, nice flat back, come up with control, ripping and crushing, either pause here or pull it to here. Place the mace down, bayonet switch, over grip, left side. Right leg goes back, micro bend in your base leg, ripping and crushing. I've got my kickstand foot here for help, hinge. I pull the mace across body bottom. So all this content is in my Still Mace Vinyasa 101 program. So there's definitely resources if you're not a teacher in training to learn this stuff. I've got a brand new program that's coming out. Links always will be shared below. But I encourage you to do the level 1. When and if you're ready, do the level 2. Lifting the leg, stabilizing, bearing load, full extension, full fascial tension. Find your power leakages. The whole Still Mace Vinyasa 101 program is really to help you identify, where am I leaking power? Where am I weakest? How can I build more strength, more endurance in that area? For me, I can feel a little wobble on this side, and that's probably just an asymmetry in my hips from carrying my kiddos. I can pull here. The other cool thing about Still Mace Vinyasa exercises is you can regress and you can progress in the actual workout. So in any given workout with 90 seconds work, 30 seconds rest, I might be doing a level 1, be going to level 2, then back to level 1, and then slowly up to level 3. So the whole point of having this kind of upshifting and downshifting system is so that we can start to be autonomous, sense where our power leakages are, and start to seal them up. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial on balance. Try out the priming drills, specifically with the conditioning drills, and follow along the program. Keep an eye out for Still Mace Vinyasa 101. It's an amazing program, a full library of everything that's covered in the teacher training manual, and it'll be shared with the public. So you don't have to be a teacher in training if you want to learn this stuff and build your own workouts at home and really develop a strong home practice.